A2Z across LC with your hosts,
Jeff Alsman and Cody Zipman.
And welcome to the LC podcast, A2Z across LC. Let's go.
And now that we've taken care of that, we'll just move right into the meat and potatoes. You know, we should let you do the intro.
I get too nervous.
Well, that was fantastic. Well, it was an intro.
It was an intro.
So, welcome to the A2Z Across LC podcast. I should put my glasses on so I can see all of you out there. You know, for far away, I got to have the glasses. For up close, I don't. So, hello, everybody.
You look sharp with glasses.
Well, I appreciate that. Does that mean I don't without?
I'm just saying, you look for like a guy that visits little...
Sophisticated, maybe?
No, he comes around the world and delivers toys.
Oh,
I'm just there's a
don't give away my secrets.
I was about to say there's a resemblance here.
You know, children watch our podcast.
I know. I'm a little bit worried.
We'll have to edit that out now.
There's gonna be a line outside with lists. The scene from the Santa Claus, Ted Allen's on the bench.
Can you imagine?
He's at his kid's soccer game. Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness. Hey, what a show we have planned for you today. You know, before we start and get into what we're going to be talking about in our upcoming segments, let's talk about the soccer teams. Our men's and women's both had great seasons. The men just played for this past weekend played for the district championship against the number 2 team in the state. Didn't go as well as they planned, but great team they're playing against. They lost 2-0, and I'm sure that makes you proud as the athletic director of the successes that the programs are having.
I'm very proud of JB and Coach John Dunner and the kids.
You got nicknames for everybody, don't you?
I do. I got nicknames for everybody, but I love those guys. They do a great job. The kids do a great job. Proud of those programs, and Iowa Western, we're coming for you. I'm just letting you know.
Throwing the gauntlet down.
I'm just saying, to the Iowa Western AD, watch out.
And they brought a lot of fans down. You see that big old bus they had?
Heck yeah. I was out setting up the field in the rain, and here they come pulling up with 6 SUVs and a people mover with Iowa Western all over, and
Talk about the rain. The second half, I was at the game because they needed a ring announcer.
I was wondering how you were doing. Because Kayla is giving me updates. I'm fundraising. And by the way, I'm only staying here for this little bit.
Kayla is our medical trainer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Our lead physio. She loves physio.
Okay.
So she's sending me updates, and she's like, it's pouring right now.
Oh, it was pouring so bad.
Pouring. And I just think of you cold underneath the white tents.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh, are they holding up?
Fortunately, you had those secure.
Okay.
And
because, I checked weather, and I'm like, okay, things are looking up. It's going to be raining on the setup, but then during the 2-hour window, it's going to be pretty, maybe a little misty, maybe sprinkling.
Yeah.
I was more worried about the breakdown because once it hit that 4, it was going to be poured on.
Yeah.
But when Kayla says score and update and we're in the second half, it's pouring. Yes. I'm like, this has changed.
The whole second half, just a downpour. It was. You have to really enjoy soccer.
Yeah.
To participate in that kind of weather.
Yep. So hey, I'm just saying that's another reason to have artificial turf fields.
No, you were on artificial, not ours.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
You can keep playing.
You can just keep playing, exactly. Keep playing. The only thing that stops you is snow and lightning.
Yeah. Well,
that's
congratulations to both our men's and women's soccer team. And now we're kind of turning our attention, I guess, to basketball.
And they're fired up. They're kind of like road warriors early, but I know that's kind of that's not bad always. You get closer as a team, and then when the games really, really matter, you're at home a lot more.
So on the program today, we're going to be talking to Brett Kalker, who is an English and drama teacher at Civic Memorial High School. He's going to tell us about a theatrical event that is actually going to be brought to our campus here at the auditorium by the CM production team. And a couple of students he's bringing along as well who are in the production. And they're going to be talking about putting on a traveling show. I think they're going to try to take this show on the road even beyond here at Lewis and Clark. So that should be really interesting. That's
I like that you bring in the district programs and the district students.
Well,
was this you setting us up right now?
Was it
we
you,
served
right?
the district. I'm just saying. Maybe it was Producer O.
Producer O, he is on top of things.
Legendary Lemons.
Him too.
Could it be? Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I did do this one. And then, it's never too early. Kind of goes back to what you were saying in the beginning of the segment. never too early to start thinking about the holidays.
Again, you put all this together.
Yeah.
I'm saying who you kind of resemble.
I know.
And now all of a sudden Christmas is in this rundown.
I have my contacts. The vice president of the Jerseyville Downtown Country Christmas Festival is going to be here. That should
Piques
be
my interest.
That should be fun.
Mm.
Big celebration. Close off the downtown.
Digging in twice. Gotta find out who's naughty or nice.
You know, we
right,
should
producer
have Hold on, hang on. If you're going to bring him in, you got to let me know so I can turn his mic on. Okay.
Well, I was just going to say, I hope that isn't copyright infringement and gets the whole podcast pulled down.
I don't
Really?
think
I can't just sing that song?
I don't know. You probably can't.
I hope so. It's kind of common.
If this guy's here, you can probably
Like
sing the song.
100 years old, right?
I've got the contacts. Don't forget. Plus,
Okay.
it probably wasn't that recognizable. So either way, we're probably okay. I'm thinking.
We'll see.
I don't even know where I was going now, but
Christmas festival downtown.
yes,
Jerseyville.
downtown. So that's that should be really. What I was going to say is we should have folks email us at A2Z podcast at lc.edu their favorite Christmas song.
Yeah, and they have to sing it.
Well, how are they
Can they
gonna do that in
record
an
it and
email?
send it? The attachment?
Oh, they could send us an attachment.
That would be awesome.
Wouldn't it
What if
be?
it was a video? Because we have the capabilities
Now
and we
you're
could pop
really
it up.
thinking. See, I'm rubbing off on you.
I know.
You're
What
really
could be a
getting
gift?
great. Well, you'll have to get to the man. who
Front
knows about
row
this.
seats at a men or women's basketball game at LC. I know a guy.
There you go.
How about that?
That works for me.
Yeah.
And you have to. Speaking of getting out and around fast, you've got to skedaddle, right?
Let's go Blues tonight. Fundraising again.
Fundraising. So
I'm on the
you're
road
going to
here.
head out for the rest of the program, but you wanted to be here to be able to say hi.
I did.
And you're going to go get a big check.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we need you to do that too. So you just got your hands in everything.
Golf. I'll be with golf. Yep.
All right.
I'm ready to go. We're fundraising at the hockey game.
Have a good game for the Blues and bring home lots of money and keep that program going strong.
I will.
You want to take us out?
We are
LC A2Z.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but dental hygiene could have been my thing. Or my path could have been conservation.
Welcome back to the A to Z Across LC podcast. Jeff Alsman here. Cody Zipman is out doing some fundraising for the athletic department, so he will not be with us for the remainder of our program today. We have a great show planned for you, including this segment, which we're really excited about. We have with us Brett Kalker, who is the English and drama teacher at CM High School, and he has brought along two students, Elliana Fiorino and Taylor Hunter. They're both part of a production that is actually coming to the campus here in the next couple of weeks. They're going to tell us all about that and their involvement in it. But Brett, we're going to start with you. Tell us about Steel Magnolias.
Well, we wanted to do something a little different this year. This is my 7th year now at Civic Memorial. And when I started out in the program, basically it was a really small, tiny program. We had one teacher that was directing and doing all the tech for everything. Half the gear in our auditorium didn't work. The light board didn't really work very well. In fact, the year before I got there, it had caught fire.
Got it too close to the lights.
A little bit. So when I showed up, and I have a background in theater, I did it all through high school and college, and I minored in it in theater production in college. And I was kind of shocked at the state of affairs that department was in. So I jumped right in and started just fixing things. And then in doing so, kind of got some more attention and started building the program a little bit. So our shows started getting a little bigger, definitely a little more in depth, definitely a lot more technical in production. And I loved all that. And so over those course of years, we've kind of just built it. And then along the way, our actors and actresses kind of caught up to the curve and have been absolutely knocking it out of the park. And so for this show in particular, we wanted to go with something that was a little less tech heavy because we've done big shows like Legally Blonde where you're changing scenes every minute or two, which is really intense, but it kind of takes some of the spotlight off of the actors and actresses. And so that's why we wanted to focus on our talent this year. So we chose this one because it only has 6 stars, 6 main leads in the show, and everything is focused on them. So the set was fairly straightforward. It's one set, nothing really changes. They have some simple props that come on and off. So my set crew got to take a little break this show and get to sit back a little bit and just watch it. And then really we got to showcase our best actresses. And it's been phenomenal watching them take this and just run with it. Steel Magnolias is not an easy show to put on because it's only six actors. They averaged, I think, 130 lines per person. And some, like Taylor's is about 200 lines. And anybody that's done theater, 200 lines to memorize, and especially just straight dialogue, is incredibly tough because there's not a lot of scene shifts. There's not a lot of things happening on stage. So the dialogue just kind of runs, which that just relies then on your talent. And the stars have to be able to pull that off and keep the dialogue interesting, keep it rolling and accurate, because at one little line switch and the thing
can throw everything off.
Oh yeah. And there's one where it's the whole drinking the juice scene where they go back and forth, and I think it's like 8 or 9 lines in a row. They're just, Shelby, drink the juice. Drink the juice. No, you drink the juice. You got to drink the juice. And they have to get it right because they're cueing each other, and they nailed it.
Well, and timing too for something like that would be incredible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So speaking of timing, before we bring the ladies in, tell us when it's going to happen. If you get tickets, how do you do that? The showtime, the whole bit.
So we are going to be here on Sunday, November 24th. It's a 2:00 show. Tickets can be bought at the door. I don't believe we have anything set up to go ahead of time, so you'll just show up and be able to get in. And this is all in kind of a preparation of hopefully getting selected to go to state. And that was also one of the big keys, is that we are participating in Illinois Theater Fest. We've gone for the past couple of years and just watched, but this year we have actually put a show up to try and go and be judged or get to perform at the state competition this year at ISU. Or I'm sorry, U of I, Urbana-Champaign this year. They alternate back and forth. So this year it's at Urbana-Champaign. And so this was a great way to get us to get it on the road, see how everything travels, get our actors an opportunity to perform on a different stage. And then hopefully, if we make it past the adjudication, then we get chosen and we get to take this thing down to state and show it off to our peers of 4,000 other students. That's who shows up to this thing. And I think it's like 65 different high schools that participate in Theater Fest. And so it's really exciting.
And where would that be?
It's at ISU, Illinois State. I'm sorry, U of I. I keep going back and forth. They trade off every other year. It's at U of I, Urbana-Champaign.
Oh, so that's what you were talking about. Okay, I was thinking you had to do it once before there for the preparation, and then so you go back and do it a second time there, or I'm confused.
They actually came. They came last Friday. The adjudicators showed up to our show because our show was just this past weekend at Civic Memorial, and they came to our Friday performance, and it was really awesome. They sat and watched the show, gave us a ton of notes afterwards, which was incredibly informative. A little nerve-wracking, especially for me, the tech director, finally get my own notes for the first time. Like, be nice.
Well, I hope they were kind.
They were very kind. It was an amazing opportunity.
So let's bring in the ladies. Let's start with Elliana. So tell me a little bit about your background. I'm guessing that it sounds like both of you, this isn't your first rodeo. You've been involved in drama, theatrics before. Give us a little bit of background and how you got interested.
Yeah, so I've never been like an athletic kid. And I think my parents knew that from the start. So they put me in YMCA productions. So I've been doing theater for, I don't know, since like 2016, I think. And I've just been in a show ever since, like at least one a year. Most times, like honestly, like averaging 3 a year. I've just always loved theater. I spend my summers doing productions. This past summer, I actually just did a production at Stages in St. Louis, which was really big for me because Stages is a professional one. Well, I didn't do it at Stages. I did it at their academy. So it was really neat because I was working with professionals. So yeah, theater's just always been very important to me. It's something I love. I love being on stage. And I'm president of our drama club. So like this has always been just the upfront for me, always been my main priority.
So they offer you a contract after you had a chance to do the show?
I wish. I actually had to pay to be a part of the
Oh,
academy.
no.
But maybe one day I'll be with the actual
the
stages.
tables will be turned.
Yes, maybe,
Yes.
hopefully.
So Taylor, how about you? Give us your background.
Well, it's been a huge part of my life, my entire life too. Straight away, preschool, I was put into my church Christmas production, so I started doing that. And then I hit kindergarten and I went to a private school, so we had musicals every year that you had to be a part of. It was not a choice. So I did 2 a year for about 5 years, and then from then on, I did a few with my church, and I did one for our Alton Little Theater. But I've never done anything professional. I'm not that bougie, but and then getting in high school, I've been at least a part of all of our productions. This is my 5th one acting in, and then the other 2 I've been a part of. I did crew. It was a very good experience. So I've been in around somewhere between 20 and 30 plays. So it's been a huge part of my life. Not to say I was a big role in them. Most of the time I was just like a 5-year-old in ensemble, but it's still not something that's been a part of my whole life, and I love it so much.
Well, it builds your confidence. You get poise. You get stage presence. You get familiar with the surroundings. You're not scared by things. Obviously, you come in, you get behind the microphone. It's like, no big deal. I'll just sit here and do my thing. And you can tell you both have that the it type thing that goes along with that. So Elliana, tell me about this show. What's exciting about this one besides the chance of maybe turning this into a traveling event? But the show itself, what's special about it?
I just love the connections with not only our characters, but like our cast. Since it's only 6 people, I've never been in a show with such a small cast, and it really gave us the opportunity to really just get to know each other very well, which I think helped translate into our characters. And just the connections between us girls was just like no other, and it was just so nice because it was like doing something you love with just 5 other of your friends.
And Taylor?
I think Ellie covered it pretty well, actually. Since the show was so close-knit, it was just a really great experience. Like, we would hang out together. Like, we went to dinner a few times together, just do, like, some team bonding. Because with a show like this, you can't have any beef with anyone. You have to have a good chemistry with everyone because the characters themselves in this storyline are so close with each other. Like, they are each other's rocks. So we, in turn, had to get to know each other and become closer to each other. So I really liked that aspect about doing this show. It was very fun being able to get to know these girls better, and also just like I spent so much time with them. Like, they're like my sisters, like, in the end.
And Brett, this particular show is so female talent driven. You almost have to know you have the players in place before you decide I'm going to set out on this adventure and do this show. Did you have to think that through a little bit before you decided this was something we wanted to tackle?
Absolutely. And actually, after last year when we lost a bunch of our seniors, we were pretty top heavy last year. And so we had to struggle to figure out, okay, what do we have? Because we didn't have a big pool of experienced actors or actresses that were working for us this year. And our best stars were all female. So this kind of script landed in our lap, and the director and I both were like, yeah, absolutely. This is wonderful. And you see it come out on stage because they all know each other, and those emotions like they spoke of, you feel it. I mean, it was really fantastic to sit and watch these interactions go down, because when Ellie has a breakdown on stage and starts crying, I mean, as an audience member, you have a hard time not just falling right into it. And you can see the other actresses on stage trying not to cry or trying to stay in character and their emotions, because it is a very
emotional production. There's no doubt.
And you connect. The actresses pull it off where you connect. They drag you in, and you feel it. You feel that you're sitting there with them and you're going along for the show.
So I want to ask the ladies one more question each, but I want to make sure you get a chance to tell folks how they can get tickets, when it is. Is there any advanced ticketing at all, or just at the door?
No, at the door. I believe tickets are $5 at the door, and show starts at 2:00, so doors will be at 1:30. It's about a 2-hour show, so it's like an hour and 45 minutes or so with a little intermission in there. And so on Sunday, November 24th, show up to the Haskell Theater and at about 1:30 and get your ticket. Come on out and check us out. It's an amazing show. See some amazing young talent and come support the product.
Sounds like it would be a blast. Okay, so each of you, same question, excluding this show, because you've been in several others, favorite character you've ever played. Elliana, we'll start with you.
Okay. That's really hard because I've played so many that like connect to me different ways. But I will say one that like always holds a special place, I think, is probably from our last year's spring musical. We did Legally Blonde and I was Elle in it. And I think that was just a very challenging role for me because her songs are hard to sing. So like I am a singer, but it definitely challenged me in ways I didn't think I would be able to pull off. She's a belter. I'm not really a belter, but I learned how to do that. And I think just always learning more through characters is just super important. And that definitely held a special place in my heart.
Plays better or musicals?
Musicals, all the way. I love musicals. Musicals are better.
Taylor, your turn.
Well, I have to agree that's a really hard question simply because like they each have their own things about them. But I'm going to go ahead and say Alice in Wonderland. When we did Alice in Wonderland, I was Alice. So again, like it's kind of like, oh yeah, you were the lead. But like it was such a good experience for me. And the show itself was a weird show because it's Alice in Wonderland and no one really knew what was going on. But it was definitely so fun for me and I loved every second of it. So
I thought you were going to say something from your 5-year-old in the church program or something like that.
yeah, totally. When I was a cupcake.
A cupcake.
I was a cupcake as a preschooler.
Oh, that's a story for another podcast, I think. Yes.
Plays or musicals, I don't know, because I'm a singer. I'm not a strong singer, so I'm definitely a play girly.
Okay.
Gotta disagree with you on that one.
Okay.
I thrive when I just speak and do things.
Were you chocolate or vanilla cupcake or chocolate chip or what?
I don't remember. It was like a felt costume with like straps. It had like straps on
It was
the
red
front.
velvet. That's what it was. Yeah. Okay. So let's turn the page just a second here because I want to give you a chance also because I know you guys are all involved in this. With the Lewis and Clark digital streaming and broadcasting program, there's a radio station at CM that you guys are involved in as well. Have your own station, have your own programs connected here to the college. Talk about that just a little bit and let folks know. I don't know that a lot of folks know about that.
No, that's actually a really great program. We are going on, is it 15 years now, I think, roughly?
Yeah, about 15.
We have David Olenbill. Who was
Producer, he's off mic, but he's still
first
here.
class that was at Lewis and Clark, he was a part of when they brought that program to us.
I was a student. I was
at
a
Civic
student
Memorial.
Here. I was a student here.
Oh, here.
I was a student here at LC.
Okay.
Whenever we created the program, in the program myself.
There you go.
Okay.
And
Sorry,
so
it was terrible audio.
Yeah. You'll touch it up. It'll be great. Yeah.
we do have a live, it's a secondary feed, so it's an HD channel. We are 89.9 HD2, and we have the same equipment that they have out at the main station. And so our students get to go in before school, lunchtimes, even during classes, and they DJ. They pull up songs, they do intros and outros. They do kind of mini podcasts where they do little interviews and just share information out. And it's a great opportunity to learn the technical skills of radio without it going out to the mass audience because it is an HD channel. So you have to actually log in to our website to see it or to follow. So it gives them a kind of nice buffer. They get to do all of this stuff without the stress of being live on the air, on the actual airwaves. And it's great. It's really great to see the students grow. And then as they get here and they get into the big program, I have a bunch of graduates. One of them is over in the DJ booth right now that came out of our program and is actually just taking it off and running with it. It's been really cool.
And you ladies are both involved, right? You're both
I am currently involved.
Yes.
currently. Okay. So what's your role? Are you the morning news person or are you?
No, I kind of stepped back from doing a lot of the hands-on stuff because I'm the president of our media club. So I kind of just run everything at this point.
So you look up to Producer O. You want to be the next producer of the A to Z podcast. That's what you're telling us.
Sure.
I knew it. I didn't mean to cut you in.
No, you're okay. I don't know because I still do a lot of stuff. I still do a lot of setup. We will live stream and run audio for like our fine arts people, like their concerts and also for the plays and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I've done a lot of that. I still am very hands-on, but when it comes to things like our weekly video announcements and DJing within the club itself, I try to step back and let other people do it and just be I try to be the person who teaches them how, but also I do enjoy doing all of it. So I do as much of it as I can without making it to where I'm the only one doing anything so that other people can also learn so that the next people are set up for when I leave so that they can run the club and then they can have the knowledge and abilities to do these things, not only in the club, but also like after graduation if they ever do anything like this.
Spreading the wealth, bringing up the next group to the legacy builder.
And that's something that I really tried to instill in all my clubs, is that they should teach each other. I can only teach so much, and students tend to like to listen and learn from their peers also. And so we very much in all of the organizations have a training program in place. And so if you're an upperclassman, you kind of get job duties taken from you, and you are now a trainer and a teacher, and you have to take the underclassmen under your wing and bring them up, because we do so much. We do live streaming and events, and you name it, our crew is there running sound or audio or whatever Mr. Newell, our principal, needs. We've kind of also turned into our principal's little mini production company.
I wish it would have been offered when I was in school, back when we'd been playing Barry Manilow and Air Supply. These girls don't even know who those folks are, but irregardless, what a great program. It would have been so cool. I'd love that so much back in the day, so to speak. Well, thanks so much for being with us. Can't wait to see the production. It sounds like it's going to be fantastic. Can't wait to see both of you behind the mic somewhere down the road for sure. This mic or stage mic or somewhere. It's bound to happen. I can't imagine it wouldn't. So thanks for coming out and being part of the podcast. And I'm going to let you guys take us out.
All right. Thank you very much. And ready? 1, 2. We are
LC A2Z.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
And welcome back to the A to Z Across LC podcast. Jeff Alsman here, and we're going to talk about the holidays, some of our favorite times of the year. They're right around the corner, and we have with us in the studio Beth McGlasson, who is the vice president of the Downtown Country Christmas Festival. And Beth, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
I have seen some pictures of things online. This really looks like an event for the ages in downtown Jerseyville. Tell us about it.
It is just a lot of fun. We are so proud of this event because it is a free event for children in our community. The inspiration behind this was a little girl who went to see the Polar Express, and she was so wowed by the movie that her mom came to a group of business people in Jerseyville and said, "Hey, can you provide a free screening of this movie and make some kind of community event that's free for local children?" And so it has just built over the years. So it's always held the Saturday after Thanksgiving from 1 to 5 p.m. Santa arrives by helicopter at 1:30, so the kids can see him land in Lions Club Park.
Oh, wow.
We have over 20 games and inflatables, bounce houses, obstacle courses, all kinds of games where kids can get prizes for them. But they can also write a letter to Santa Claus, thanks to the JCBA, the Jersey County Business Association. They're partners with us. And they know Santa personally, so they will make sure that your child gets a response to that letter. Kids can get their picture taken with Santa at Royal Banks. We have a nonprofit called Here's to Reading. They're going to be giving away prizes and books. The local fair board provides us with Power Wheels for the kids to ride on. Our Tri-County Antique group, they provide free hay rides. I mean, it's just a day of fun for everybody.
I mean, this event literally shuts down the streets of downtown.
Well, we don't anymore. We used to shut down State Street.
Okay.
But State Street is Route 67.
I was wondering how you did that. Yes, but...
Well, it was exhausting for everyone who had to do the setup and tear down because once everything was over, you had to have everything off of those streets within 30 minutes. And it was just too much. So we've moved it over a block. So it's now across from the Stadium Theater. And that's where we set up, the festival is right there at a park where we hold everything. Like I said, runs till 5 o'clock. And then we have a parade, a lit parade, and that travels from the festival out to Dolan Park, where we light the Downtown Country Christmas Festival, and we officially kick off the Christmas season in Jerseyville.
And then the Christmas lights that kick things off, those stay through the rest of the holiday, correct?
That's right. Our city park is called Dolan Park, and it is the equivalent of Alton's Rock Spring Park. That's
Okay.
where we do our major decorating. But in addition to that, we also decorate our courthouse lawn. We decorate Rotary Park, and then we have 2 pocket parks. We also install about a dozen business windows, so they're all decorated for the holidays. We just do a whole lot to make sure that Jerseyville is all decked out for Christmas.
Now, you mentioned the Polar Express movie that was kind of the inspiration that got all this started. Is that the movie that is shown every year? Is that kind of traditional
Well,
now, or do you vary those?
It varies every year. And it is a free movie at 11 o'clock in the morning. That's that's part of what kicks this whole event off. But this year it is the Polar Express to celebrate our 10th anniversary.
So I bet there's some extra excitement because of it being the 10th year.
It is. We're going all out. We're cleaning out all those closets, every storage space where we've shoved the stuff over the years. We're dragging it all out and making this a spectacular year this year.
So take us back to the first one. I'm sure there have been growing pains and things you've learned along the way, but what was the initial reaction like, and then compare it to kind of what you expect for the 10th anniversary? Because in the pictures that I saw, I mean, there are people everywhere. It seems like it's very well received.
Well, we've undergone a lot of location changes. We've held our event on Courthouse Square as well on Washington Street. And gradually the word has gotten out. It was a very small event to begin with, and over the years, like I said, it's just grown. Of course, we had COVID in the midst of all of this.
Sure.
So there were 2 years where we had Santa in a snow globe. A giant inflatable snow globe where the kids could come up and he could actually talk to them. They could hear him.
What a great idea, though.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't cancel Christmas because of COVID. So
And if anybody can get around it, Santa should be able to find a way.
absolutely,
For sure.
absolutely.
Yes.
So like I said, just over the years, it has just grown and grown, and we've had more people come and support this event. It just is amazing. It really brings so many players within our community together that support this. That to me is one of the best parts of it, is there's so many people that work and so many organizations that work to make this happen.
Do you find that, and I don't even know if you track this or if there's a way you could track this, but do you find that there are a lot of folks outside of the Jerseyville community that also mark this on their calendar as a don't forget this date and show up every
Absolutely.
year?
It has become a major event that's looked forward to with a lot of people in the Metro East area.
So are you comfortable now with, do you think, you mentioned there have been different location changes. Do you think this is the one? Because I know with events like this, consistency is important, especially when it's a once a year thing, because it's tough to get the word out if it's moving a lot.
Right.
Do you feel like we might have finally found a home now?
I think this is it. I think this is it. And of course, as is with everything, there's pros and cons. The event space is actually what is typically a parking lot, but we bring in the city Christmas tree is right there at the center of our festival, and so we try to do some things, and actually we realized last year that, hey, we're kind of getting away from all the Christmas finery that we used to provide, and we need to take some extra steps and make it look like it is very much Christmas. Because when we were on State Street, people would say, oh my gosh, this is like a Hallmark movie. And it really was
Right.
the backdrop.
Sure.
It was the perfect backdrop. But again, closing a major state highway is very
big deal.
difficult. Right,
Yes.
right. So we've had to make some adjustments to our new home. But I do believe this is the place where we'll be from now on.
So with the decorations and the look, let's say, do you try to, is there a theme? Is it always a traditional Christmas look? Is it a modern? Is it a mix? Do you change it up?
We have a different theme every year, but it is a very traditional Christmas look. It truly is. And this year is, oh my goodness, 10 years of memories, a walk down memory lane. It's because now we have 10 years under
Sure.
our belt. And so we've asked the community, hey, share your pictures. from the past. So we have huge banners that we have made of all these pictures from the past 10 years, and they will be out at Dolan Park where people can go up and take a look.
Any music or carolers or any of those types of things? You ever thought about adding any of that? If
We
not?
have in the past. We've had Muni kids come up and join us, and we weren't able to do that this year. So this year we're probably not going to have live entertainment. We do present the Kringle Award every year, and that's somebody in our community who really embodies the whole spirit of Christmas and better, making our community a better place. And so that's always a big deal. We present the Kringle Award right before we light the city Christmas tree. So we'll be doing that about 4:45 this year.
So, again, it's the Saturday after Thanksgiving, so weather usually isn't an issue, but if it were to become an issue, is this rain or shine? It's a one-shot try? And if
It is a one-shot deal. If rain or shine, we will be there. I will tell you, last year, most people were in short sleeves.
Yeah.
It was really warm last year. There's one year that I can remember when the weather was really nasty. We have been very lucky overall because actually the rain typically comes in after the festival is over, knock on wood.
So, not to put you on the spot as the vice president because you want to make sure you treat everybody the same, but just in feedback, are there certain areas, though, there are certain pockets or certain things that seem to be the crowd favorites that everybody just can't wait to get to see? Or is it just everybody just likes all of it?
It is just a fun day. I mean, it is just a fun day for those kids. I mean, where can you go and spend 4 hours without spending a dime to entertain your kids, to get them in the holiday spirit, to play all of these games, to get to go and talk to Santa Claus and have your picture taken with Santa Claus for free, to go and write your letter to Santa Claus or, to go on a hayride. I mean, there's just so much fun things for the kids. And it really is heartwarming to see them all enjoy this special day.
So how big is the committee that puts this all together? Because I would think the logistics of this, you've got to have lots of volunteers.
We do. Our core board is we have about 8 people on that board. We have one family who has been involved with this since day one, and that's the Ward family. And Michael Ward has been our president for a number of years and just really has dedicated his life to making this festival into what it is today. And his family, I don't know if you volunteer, but if you do, you'll know that you drag your family into all these these volunteer things that you do. And that's true of Michael. His parents, Bill and Kathy, have just been invaluable to this. And this is actually their last year on our board. They're stepping down after this year. Yeah. So we are very sorry to see them go. But at the same time, we very much wish them all the best and think it's a well-deserved rest. So, but yeah, I mean, we have a terrific core group of volunteers. We have people from the community who always come in. One of the things we do is we wrap all of the trunks of the trees at Dolan Park. That's about 90 tree trunks.
Wow.
And we have the middle school Blue Crew. So these are kids in middle school that came over last Saturday. They've been doing this for a couple years for us now. And there's 40 to 50 kids. We buy them donuts. We buy them sugary drinks to get them all hyped up.
And then put them to work.
And what would take us a week to do, they can get done in an hour and a half.
You just don't eat enough donuts. That's what it is.
Maybe that's it.
It sounds like a fun event for the whole family that attends, but also it's kind of neat that all age groups get to participate in the prelude.
Absolutely.
To the event, so they all feel like they have some ownership.
Right, because we have a freshman group that's wanting to help this year as well. And so we're trying to line up what we're going to do with that group of freshman students coming in. But you're right. I mean, what a great way to see how your work benefits such a large group of people. Because Dolan Park is visited by, I wish I'd brought that stat sheet. I think it's about 70,000 visitors every year. Mm-hmm. Wow. It's amazing that drive through that park. And again, that's something that's free. You can drive through anytime between Thanksgiving and the day after Christmas, and it's going to be lit up. And if you want to drive through there once, that's fine. If you want to drive through there 100 times, that's great too.
I can see, you have folks coming in for the holidays, and you have dinner, then you all hop in a couple of SUVs and head off to the park. And what a great way to spend the evening. And who doesn't like Christmas lights?
Absolutely. And we have one of the animated trees like they have at Silver Dollar City. So you have the lights and the music synchronized. And it's just really spectacular. It's beautiful.
So give folks the particulars again about the event, and then also about the lighting that comes afterwards, and the time that the park is open, so everybody knows when they need to be there, because you don't want to miss it.
Right. So the Saturday after Thanksgiving, November 30th. One thing I didn't mention, it actually kicks off at 9 o'clock in the morning with a Christmas bazaar at the Father William Hembrough Center on North State. So that runs from 9 to 3. The festival itself kind of kicks off with that 11 o'clock movie at the Stadium Theater, which is free of charge. Polar Express will be aired this year. And then 1 o'clock is when the festival kicks off, and that is at the City Center Park. That is located across from the Stadium Theater on East Pearl Street in Jerseyville. You do not need tickets, reservations. It's not going to cost you a dime. You do have to stop and sign a waiver for your child before they can participate. And then we will have over 20 games and inflatables that they can enjoy, hay rides, power wheels. They can write a letter to Santa. They can get a photo taken with Santa. Here's to Reading will be giving away books. Just 4 hours of absolute fun. At 5 o'clock, they will light the official Jerseyville Christmas tree. Then the parade will start at 5:15. It will make its way over to Dolan Park, which is our city park on June Street, for the official lighting of the Downtown Country Christmas tree, Downtown Country Christmas Festival tree, and Dolan Park. And we have officially kicked off Christmas in Jerseyville at that point.
One thing we might want to address real quick before we go, what about parking? Do you have recommendations?
We have tons of parking in Jerseyville. Off of State Street in both directions, there are tons of parking lots, so plenty of parking. That will not be a problem.
Sounds like Jerseyville has open arms for the visitors that come in and celebrate the Christmas season, get it kicked off in a fine fashion.
Absolutely. We'd love to see you there.
Thanks so much for being with us. Hope it's a great year like the other 9 have been. The big 10th anniversary of the Downtown Country Christmas Festival in Jerseyville. Sounds like a blast.
It will be. I promise.
All right. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
And that's going to do it for our podcast for this particular episode. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you again next time. We are
LC A to Z.